Okay, let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? Standing by the baggage claim, watching all those bags go round and round, that low hum waiting for yours. It feels, I don't know, almost magical when it finally pops out. Or maybe a bit stressful if it doesn't show up quickly. But behind that moment, there's this whole hidden world, like a really complex dance happening backstage. So today, we're doing a deep dive into exactly that airport ground handling, and we're really zooming in on baggage services. We've got insights here from aviation experts, people who really know the ropes.
Yeah, it's a huge part of airline operations. Ground handling is actually their biggest department, operationally speaking.
Yeah.
And baggage services. Well, the source is often painted as, let's say, the toughest part is where things often go sideways.
But also where some serious problem solving happens.
Exactly. And where you see some real dedication.
Okay, so let's get right into it. Why do bags go missing sometimes? What are the main reasons they get mishandled, according to these experts?
Well, it usually boils down to a few key things, sometimes a combination. Human error is definitely a factor. Maybe a bag just gets left behind on a cart
Or put on the wrong flight?
or put in the wrong container. Yeah,
Hmm.
that happens. Then there's equipment stuff, like a bag tag getting ripped off somehow.
Oh, that sounds bad. A tagless bag.
It's a real challenge. And transit points connecting flights, they add a lot of complexity. Every time a bag changes hands or planes, there's another chance for, well, a slip up
Right.
and delays, of course. If your flight's late, you miss your connection. Your bag might miss it too, even if you somehow make it onto the next flight.
The sources mentioned something about multi-destination flights being particularly tricky. Why's that?
Yeah, that's a classic risk. Think about a flight going, say, London, Dubai, Singapore. Your bag's checked only to Singapore. It actually has to go into the Singapore container if it accidentally ends up in the Dubai one.
It gets offloaded halfway there.
Precisely. And when staff are sorting hundreds of bags, fast, under pressure, yeah, that specific mistake is a known headache.
Okay, so after I wave goodbye to my bag at check-in, what's its journey like? The part we don't see.
So first, it travels to a sorting area, like a big central hub.
Mm.
Bags from all the check-in desks get gathered there. Then they're sorted by flight number, put into trolleys or those big metal containers, ULDs they're called. Then they're towed out to the aircraft waiting on the ramp.
And back to that nightmare scenario. What if the tag does vanish?
Well, they try everything. Check for other labels, maybe carefully look inside for any kind of identification. Sometimes they might even call back to check-in, try to figure it out based on timing. But often these bags end up in a special area for unidentified luggage. It takes a lot of effort to sort those out.
But considering how many bags travel, the system works pretty well most of the time.
Surprisingly well, yeah. The industry average for mishandling is something like 1 bag per 1,000 handled, which sounds low, and it is given the sheer volume, but still awful if it's your bag, obviously.
Definitely. I imagine technology has made a huge difference here over the years.
Oh, massively. It used to be very manual, lots of visual checks. Now it's all about baggage reconciliation systems, or BRS. When your bag gets scanned, and it gets scanned multiple times, the system checks the tag number, a unique sequence number for that specific bag on that trip, passenger name, booking details. It all gets matched up.
Creates a kind of digital chain of custody.
Exactly. It cuts down on human errors like misreading a tag and gives much better tracking. Way more reliable than the old days.
Okay, fast forward. The bag's landed at the destination. Now it's a race to get it onto the carousel, right?
Yeah.
What's that arrival process like?
Yeah, there's a clear sequence. Usually bags for first and business class come off first. That's a premium perk. Sometimes cabin crew bags too. And a really key step now is mandatory scanning as the bags come off the plane.
Mandatory. What, right there on the ramp?
It's all about performance tracking, measuring how long it takes to get bags to the passengers. They scan the first bag off, the last bag off, maybe scan by container or class. This lets airlines and airports track how they're doing against their target times. First bag on the belt within X minutes of plane parking, last bag within Y minutes.
Wow, okay. That sounds like a lot of pressure on the ground crew.
It absolutely is.
Mhm.
Meeting those KPIs, key performance indicators, it needs serious planning. You need the right number of people, the right equipment, all ready to go before the plane even pulls up to the gate, especially during peak hours. Airports juggle multiple arrivals, assign belts based on how many bags are coming in. Sometimes they even put two flights onto one belt to keep things moving.
It sounds intense, but obviously so crucial. The sources seem to really highlight the people involved, too.
It did. Because despite all the tech, the human element is still vital, especially when a bag does go missing. One person in the source material sort of described the lost baggage office as the place where everyone comes and cry, initially.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But then, actually finding that lost bag and getting it back to the owner, that's described as incredibly rewarding. It's like the final chance for the airline to fix things, to win the customer back.
Yeah,
Service recovery, basically.
the ultimate save.
Right. And the sources say the best people for this job. They need to be, well, kind-hearted, really motivated, super efficient. But maybe the most important thing mentioned was curiosity, being willing to ask why. Why did this bag get lost? Is there a flaw in this part of the process? How can we stop it happening again?
That's sort of detective work to improve the system itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's a system that's always being looked at, always being tweaked, because the goal is always zero lost bags, even if that's incredibly hard to achieve perfectly.
So, okay, wrapping this up, the next time you're there at the baggage claim, watching those bags loop around, just take a second. Think about that whole complex journey that just happened. The sorting, the loading, navigating potentially multiple airports, the tech, the scanning, the pressure on timing, and maybe most importantly, the actual people working hard behind the scenes to make sure that simple moment seeing your bag arrive actually happens. And here's something to think about. Considering all that complexity, all the human skill and tech involved, what's the most unexpected part of your bag's secret journey you learned about today?